let him know specific like project base that you want to work on. I'm happy to set up a time with you one-on-one afterwards or later into next week. So find me in the back if you need me. Otherwise, Carrie, I'll let you take it away.
All right, all right.
Well, there are a couple people on there, so.
Oh, perfect.
But I'm just gonna unmute it this.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I also want to introduce Jenny Gradden. She's from our Kent office. She's over in escrow. So if for any reason you guys have any escrow questions today at all, she'll be here. She's also right next door. So you're more than welcome to call her or shoot over next door if you ever need her. And then of course, Julie Tangerman, she's our sales director, my mentor, and she's amazing as well.
All right. Tony and I go way back, so put a good word for us.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started here. Again, my name is Carrie Newson. I'm with Bear Printing. For those of you that aren't aware, of course, we've had a long-standing relationship with John L. Scott. But you know, it's been what, 13, 14 years probably now?
At least.
Yeah, it's been a while. And guess what? We've actually grown a lot since then. So there's a lot of people like John L. Scott who think they know Bear Printing, but I'm guaranteeing today that there's features that you guys have not seen yet. Now, of course, I push those all the way to the end of the class, right? To make sure you sit around all the whole time, not just get the highlights. But we are going to give a full covering of all the different features built into Bear Printing. One thing we're not going to do today, we're not going to spend a lot of time on individual products, because when we dive in here, what you'll first notice is that John L. Scott has offered you a lot of products. You have a lot of products built into this system that is ready to go, that are designed and offered right through Bear Printing. And while we will highlight those and make sure you guys know where those are, we're not going to spend a lot of time in each project. We're going to talk more about the technology built into the system to help you build your marketing pieces and get out the door. The one thing that Bear Printing prides itself on is helping you guys make more money. One thing that does not help you make more money is spending 3 hours on Canva designing a flyer.
Hear that?
You might have fun doing it, but it doesn't make you any money. So let's bypass that and let's show you how to get your marketing pieces quick, easy, and out the door. And then even blend some technology in there to get you some new innovative ways to attract new clients as well. So that's gonna be a big part of today also. I'm gonna make a little adjustment here on the screen. I wonder how.
You can hide that thing.
I'm gonna put it all the way up here. That's better.
Okay.
Can I have this one?
Yeah, click on the more, the little 3 dots.
Yeah.
And it'll drop down and says hide floating recording controls. Down,
Floating.
right there. There it is.
Boom. Good. I didn't want to see those anyways. Now, of course, this is your Bear Printing login. This is once you're logged into your site. So, of course, you access your Bear Printing account directly through your MyDesk, and you have the link that'll log you right into your platform. One of the most important things about your platform when you get in here right into the Bear Printing account is your My Profile. You're going to want to make sure you review that and make sure that it has all the details in there that you want. First name, last name, title, license, company, which office you're in, and all your contact information that you want in here. All the way down to your address for your office as well, because guess what? One of our best services mailed out postcards, and guess what all mailed out postcards require? A return address. So that's where we get it from. So it's a great thing to put it in here right in here now. Now, underneath your contact information, we have system contact information. This is how Bear Printing communicates with you. So this is when you place an order, you get an immediate receipt sent to you. If we're shipping an item to you, this is where we send you the tracking number. If you're picking it up at one of our local pickup locations, which just a few miles north of here, right up in Renton, we have a pickup location that you guys could utilize at Cross Country Mortgage at the Triton 2 Tower or Triton Tower 2 or whatever it's called there. But so we notify you by that. And you can do that by email or put in a phone number and do that by text as well. I mean, text message as well. We even have your template regions. So you can set your template regions to which region you want. Right now I'm set it Portland because probably lost somebody to class. But we can set it to the Seattle market or select multiple markets if you want to do another one as well. Same with contacts, Client Connect. Now, what these two regions do for you is that we have a lot of templates that are regionally based, and If you really don't care what a postcard that's designed for San Diego looks like, then don't bother having one. So just have your area marked. As we go down, then we have your agent photo or multiple agent photos in this case, and your office logos already loaded in there for you. Now, one big thing I jumped over on these accounts. I'm gonna go ahead and update because I did make a change there real quick. Something that hasn't been available to you until the last few months. So a lot of people don't know about this yet. We have the ability to connect your Bear Printing account with your Northwest MLS account now. Which means all of you can come into your account and click on MLS listing and MLM manage MLS ID, come in and come down and select Northwest MLS. And then we just need that ID number, that unique identifier the MLS provides you to log into your account, or the one that assigns listings to you and things like that. Most people know what that is, right?
Flag number.
Is it your leg number? Then perfect, you guys got that down. Here's what that does for you, because once you have, oh, I didn't actually need to hit that because I don't have typed anything in. Here's what that does for you. So let's go ahead and build a project. Let's just start from scratch and build a project. Now, when you're building projects, the first thing you're going to be noticed is that the first thing that you get is a long list of JLS products, and there is a lot of them. Is what I was talking about. There's a lot in here. So you can go through and try to find it, or you have a great source tool right here where it says all templates. You can select which type of products you're wanting to do. Are you wanting to do listing presentation products, buyer side, business cards, sign, all those sort of things are in there. I think if I want to do listing presentation, what do I get there? Those are all the listing cards and things like that. So you can go through and find which ones you want. Your other option, just to show you, because these are all the John L. Scott built ones. But one thing that's great about Bear Printing that I can also switch this to Bear Printing templates. And we have a whole nother set of templates that are available to you. Now, here's one problem. And I know John L. Scott's big about this. These don't look very much like John L. Scott templates, do they? But watch what happens when I select one. So we're gonna go and find one that we want, or I can come in here and say, oh, I want to do one of our signature products, which is our perma flyer. If you're not familiar with the perma flyer, it's the hard version of your flyer that you can put right on your signpost. That's always there, never runs out, and it's completely weatherproof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much are those? I forget.
they're $20. They're actually a great value and actually cheaper than paper flyers. But they are a great resource in the Northwest here to make sure that your advertising stays on your listing and you don't have a soggy flyer box or an empty flyer box. Because guess what? Even if it's nice and dry, you don't have to maintain these. They're always there, and it's the information's always there for you. So they're a great product. So we can select perma flyer, and I can come down and find a design I like the looks of. So maybe I like this one. Oh, dreaded red. What are we going to do about that? We'll figure that one out later. But so now that I've selected the template I like, and now I can select which how do I want to put the content into it? Now, there's a couple different ways to do that, and the most of you are going to find that you're going to want your marketing in hand the day that your listing goes live. So you have two options in that case to do it before you actually market live in the MLS. One is start from a blank template. Guess what that means? You got to type in all the information. You got to upload all the original photos and put that in there. Another option is start from an address. If I start from an address, I can name the project and type in the address of the property, and it will auto-populate directly out of the tax records. Now, the source of the tax records is, of course, the county, which is notoriously outdated. But the great thing about it is that it fills in the blanks. So most people hate staring at a blank page. So this will fill in the blanks and let you just adjust it and go through it and do things like that. Now, the other way that's kind of neat right now, that if you get to a point where it is listed and you do want to, I went too far. Hit the home button. Let me go back instead. I can start from my listing, and it will give you a list of your listings. And I can select which listing I want to use. I don't have a lot of choices in this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and type in this one anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a name. 613 South 16th Street, Permaflyer, and I'm gonna go ahead and, because who knows how many times I've done this, to 25th, 25. And then I get the choice of either starting with our basic editor or our motif advanced editor. Now, let me break those two down for you, because basic just means you can only add content to it. You can't change the design. Advanced editor means that you can do whatever you want with it. So anyone who likes Canva, I'll demo motif in a minute for you. But we're gonna start in basic, and you're gonna notice that it's gonna auto-populate information.
If you're someone who doesn't like Canva and you just want your stuff made and you don't wanna fuss with it, basic is the way to go. I've got an agent that's 76 that makes his own open house flyers now because of this.
There it goes. So we're gonna auto-populate directly out of the listing, directly into that template, and it's gonna build the flyer for you. The other great thing is, because you are on specifically your own John L. Scott platform, you don't have to worry about the fonts or the colors. That's what they're already set for you. So they'll automatically put them in there with the John L. Scott approved colors and fonts. So even if you're using bare printing templates, you're still on brand with your company. So here we got our design, and I can go ahead and I can, if I didn't like this template now and I want to change it, I can do that. I could change the styling if I wanted to, if I wanted to adjust to a different one. Sometimes people like styling and coloring that matches the home better. They could change that with styling. You have the ability to change the fonts and the colors. Notice that your company colors, if you ever want to return, are already highlighted and in there for you. But you could change those if you wanted to. Number 3 is the content. So this is that page that you would have filled out from blank if we started from scratch. But we auto-populate from the MLS, so we put this in here. You can go through and change whatever you need to change. All of that's in there. All the features, bullets get pulled from the MLS. We have a QR code, which by default will go to what we call the web flyer. Actually, for your guys, I take that back. It would normally go to web flyer. For you guys, it goes automatically to the website for the listing. So it'll automatically do that once it's listed. If you're building this before it's live in the MLS, it'll go to the web flyer first, and then after it is live in the MLS, you can jump back in this project and change it from web flyer to website, and it will automatically change that back over to you. Now, our QR code that are built into all of our perma flyers do have a trackback, meaning that when someone scans it, it actually asks for their contact information. Hey, would you like to learn more about this property? And they can put in their information, and that gets sent right over to you. Now, it doesn't require it, however. So if they want to bypass it, they can scroll right by it and hit continue anyways and not do it. But you still get notified. So if someone scans it, even if they don't tell you their contact information, you still get notified about that. And then all your agent information comes from your profile that we filled out earlier. Now, the last thing we need to change in this is, of course, the photos. So I'm going to click on photo, and we have all of the different photo positions. It shows an example with them numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have all the listings from the MLS. So you can go through and say, oh, I want this one to be number 2. Somebody should have paid for a professional photographer. This would be number 3. I guess not every example is great, right? And this one to be number 4. Once you select those, I can return to the top, and I can go ahead and click on refresh preview, and it will put the right photos in the right places for me. Now, we do have another feature in here. If you ever want to crop a photo, there's an easy cropping tool. Once it's in here, you can just click on the sample. This one's probably not going to need much cropping because it kind of fills the whole thing. But if you did want to use it, you could click on the plus and zoom in, and then drag to center up what you want to be viewed. And then you get a crop photo, and it will replace that photo with a new one. So you can see that. Once you have that in there, of course, our preview lets you preview it, and after you've previewed it about 8 times, right? Everyone checks it 8 times. Yeah. Okay. You can, you do have the option for a PDF preview or an image preview. So you have your choice there. PDF will give you a little more detail, let you go a little deeper into it. Image preview just gives you that image. And then we have our checkout. So our checkout is, of course, add to cart. And then how do you want to receive it? Go, let's go. So then it'll say, okay, how do you want to receive it? You really have two options here. You have ship to, which you can pay for shipping, and your other option is pickup. We do have a local pickup location a few miles north of here up at the, as I said before, you just have to use the pull down menu and go down to the Washington. So the rented at the cross country mortgage. So you can pick it up there. Now, the great thing about picking it up at the cross country mortgage is that you don't have to pay for shipping. Well, whenever something's free, there's always a caveat though, right? We don't deliver to cross country mortgage every day. So we ship to them on Monday. We ship it out on Mondays and Thursdays. It arrives there on Tuesdays and Fridays. Yep.
How fast is the shipping?
Well, it's 1 day. It's 1 day from Portland, but then we also need 1 day to actually create the product for you. So in most of our products, if you think about it, if you were to order it Wednesday morning before 10 a.m., because our production day starts at 10 a.m., we would actually have it out to you on Thursday. I mean, we would ship it on Thursday, you'd have it on Friday. So a day to create it, and then a day to ship it to you if we're shipping it. And you don't need to do anything but ground. It won't matter how fast you want it or how much you pay. Guess what? UPS will still put it on a truck and ship it to you because that's the fastest way. So I found that out the hard way trying to ship things to Boise. I wanted it to fly over the Blue Mountains to get to Boise from Portland. And so I marked 2-day air, figuring they'd fly it over. They still put it on a truck and drove it because it was 2-day anyways, ground. And then it got stuck in a snowstorm and I didn't get it.
I
But
used to be an escrow assistant and I found that a lot too when shipping docks. We would think it just makes sense that they're just gonna drive it straight here. Sometimes like Oregon, they would somehow get it to like Colorado and then fly it over from Colorado. And I'm like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense a lot of times how they do it. 'Cause there's certain hubs.
we've had people in Portland, we're from Portland, people in Portland saying to pay for a next day air service. And you know what that means? That they put it on a truck, they drive it to the airport, they fly it to Tennessee, then they
Yep.
turn around and fly it straight back to Portland, then put it on a truck and then deliver it.
Sometimes I'd be watching the tracking, like, why are my docks on the East Coast?
It's kind of crazy. So you do have those options for picking up also. Okay, so that's the first run through of building a project in bear printing, right? So let's take another path through a little bit different. We built that perma flyer and it looks great. But now, and it's not listed, let's pretend I actually typed all that information in. I uploaded those original photos and I got that project looking great. And now I want to do a just listed postcard. Well, do I have to start over and type all that information in again? Well, I wouldn't tell you if that was true. So, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for me to say that. So instead of doing that all again, you can actually come to my projects. And you can select that project you just built. I should check out the project Bill built earlier in his class.
Yeah.
It's right in there because we're using the same login, obviously. And instead of opening this one, I can actually clone this project, use it as a template. And when I hit go, it's going to let me create an exact replica of it under a new name. 613 South 16th. Oh, I did that. 16th Street. This time just listed. 225. Click here to begin and it's going to create an exact replica of it. I like how it's well listed. That was funny. Now it looks the same, but I can tell it's the new name up here because here it's misspelled up here too. But now I can go ahead and change the template to something different. So I can come in and I can select a different product. I can come in and find here's a just sold. Maybe I want to come in here and say, do I have just? You can use that one. Just listed. It's an older style, but still available in here. personalize this template, and it's gonna change my project into that template. So instantly, I'm pretty much done. If I go to number 4 now, I can do an image preview, and I can see here's the front, and I can see here's the back. And I am, for the most part, ready to go. Now, let's say you want to do something outside the design. I can also take it to our motif designer. Our motif designer lets you really do whatever you want with your project. It's going to open up the project and let you go ahead and type in information and change whatever you'd like about it. It's just like working in Canva. So those of you that have been in Canva, want to change fonts, you can click on the fonts, highlight them. Geez, I really want that to be that dark green color instead. Click on it, platform color, now it's dark green. You can go through, change things, you can move things, you can drag things around, realize you screwed them all up and hit undo a bunch of times and get them all back, right? Yeah.
That's half of the 3 hours.
Yeah, getting them all back to, wait, that's closer before.
Yep.
So you can go ahead and do that. I can go to pages and then I have the front, the back. I can go to elements. We have all kinds of different elements, line flourishes, shapes. But we do have all the designations. So if you want to, if maybe you're a member of CRS, you want to add that logo, you can come in, make it the right size, drag it in. Maybe your CRS logo added. So you can have access to all those things. We have free icons to use, free imagery to use. We have text. So you can add a heading, a subheading, or a body text of different kinds. We also have ChatGPT. We call our storyteller. And you can use it to write your copy. Now, I would say this is the most prime use of it I have ever seen in real estate. How many times have you created something and you realize you have way too many words in your public remarks and it doesn't necessarily fit? Well, just ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you. You can actually say, hey, can you summarize the following in 90 words? And then copy the entire script in there, and it will literally rewrite it, summarizing it in 90 words. Now, you may want to give it a read over and you may want to make adjustments to it, but it'll definitely get you really, really, really close. Yep.
So I have a coworker that has a client he's working with that works with a lot of the Spanish community. And so he said, can I make my flyers in Spanish? Does Bear have a way to do that? And so I didn't know of a way. And so what we did, just messing with it, is we came in here, we used the ChatGPT area and we copied and pasted everything over and put it in the generator. Are you gonna show me an easier?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So at this point, we actually have a full translator built right in. So if you want a portion of this translated, let's say I wanted this paragraph translated, all I have to do is hit the translate button right here.
Up at the top?
Yep, and it gives me all the languages. So I can come in here and say, oh, I want this in Spanish. And now it's in Spanish.
That's amazing. The AI thing does it too.
Correct.
But this seems even simpler.
It probably actually uses the AI to do it, just does it for you instead of
Where did
you
it
having to
go
copy and
again?
paste. Right here. So it's this, when you're in, after you select a text box, you can just select this item right here and then it will change that one, or if you highlight individual text, it'll only translate that text. So one common use of that we have seen, and I don't know if I grabbed an example of it, is that this is another way to advertise your permaflyer. It's called a permaflyer writer. And because it's double-sided, if you're in a community that you want it to be in another language, you could actually do one side in English and then another side in another language. And it's a hanging piece underneath your sign. So it's just a great way to use ChatGPT for those kind of things. You're right.
What about Chinese? Can it do Chinese?
It can.
That's to do the Spanish.
Let's see what that looks like. Chinese simplified, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I can't read Chinese, but looks good to me.
Line is still here.
What's interesting is if you go through about 3 languages and then put it back to English. actually came back almost identical. So great ways to use the tool that's built in here, as well. You have upload, so that's all your uploaded logos and pictures and things. If you want a different picture in here, you can drag and drop. I can drag and drop someone else in here. We also have with images, you do have an edit button here where you can remove the background. So instantly making it a transparent.
Pay $14 for Canva to do that every month.
Oh, well,
Now I know.
guess
it's
you can
there.
cancel that.
Yeah.
So you can do that as well. And now you have a transparent photo. So you have all those sort of features built into here. Another item that is different is the idea of a drop-in. Now, drop-ins are saved elements. So let's say you design something in Canva, and not Canva, sorry, you got me saying Canva now, Motif, and you really, really, really like it, and you want to use it in future projects. Well, you can highlight all those elements. I'm grabbing the whole background, I guess, but you can highlight different elements. Maybe hold Control. Oh, Shift. And then I can save them as a drop-in, give it a name, and it will save those design elements as a design I can then apply to other future projects.
So they could save like their signature line essentially.
Correct.
Put into everything they make.
Exactly right. Or more importantly, some people will have a custom back to their postcards. They like to the whole back is a custom design that they've done and they want it on every postcard. They could design it once, highlight the entire back, save it as a drop-in, and then when they come into a project like this, just delete everything off the back and then go to their personal drop-ins and grab it and drop it in. So they can go ahead and do that. So those are different elements that are built in here. Of course, you have your undo, redo, and save, so you can save the project. We do have a share element, so if you want to share this via an image or a low-res PDF or email or text it to somebody to take a look at, or create a social media post directly from it, you can do that all right here.
So I've had some people ask me about the social media. I'm glad I'm here. I'm getting all my questions answered. If I were to share it to Facebook, does it share it as an image or is it gonna share it as an attachment? Like the person who was asking me about this was concerned that like, you know how sometimes when you share something to Facebook, it'll be like, check out this link below and it'll like attach it as a link.
It actually puts it in as an embedded image, and it actually does the same thing to your email as well. So believe it or not, when you send it, attach it in an email, it doesn't go as an attachment that needs to be scanned or anything. It goes into the body of the actual email.
Love that. Thank you.
Yep. Then you have your home button, which will take you back home, and then you have your card. Now we're doing a mailer, right? So we're gonna mail this sucker out. So the next thing we need is, of course, to approve the design first. But then once you approve the design, you have the mailing list. So now, of course, most of you call your favorite title rep, right? And they get you a great list to use, and I know they have awesome tools to pull those. And
We actually have a tool that'll help you find who we think is gonna move next, and up in Bellevue, we gave an agent a list of 13 about a year ago, and 9 of those did turn into listings. This
Wow.
agent did not market to those people and got 0 of those 9 listings. So he now has a new list, he is now marketing to them. But if you want a list like that, I can help you.
so and while they can provide the scalpel and give you those more targeted lists, or maybe owners that have been in their homes longer than 5 years, that have more than 40% equity, or whatever the criteria that you think is important to send to, that's great. But if not, we have a built-in radius search also. We already know the address of the property. Hey, why don't you give me the 100 closest residential homes? And there they are. That quick, that easy, I have them. And they're there. But we are the broad sort. So we're every residential property, whether or not it's for lease or rent or buy or anything. However, we do send it to the owner's address. So keep that in mind. Now, the other option you have is, instead of doing that, you can do a neighborhood search. The neighborhood search will actually let you use the polygon tool and draw open the area you want to search.
So you said you send it to the owner's address, meaning you send it to the address on the property tax bill. So if
Correct.
it's a rental, then my postcard might go to Arizona.
Might go to Arizona. Yep.
Thank you.
And then I can hit search and it will search inside of that box and find the 100 inside there. Now, if I want to use that list, I can say use this list and it's attached, whether or not you uploaded a list that's provided or what have you, and we got that attached now. When I hit continue, it will take you to our mailing services. So we have first class mailing service or marketing mailing service. So you can go ahead and select which one you want to send to. Generally, first class gets to people in about 3 to 5 days. Marketing, 5 to 10. And in each of these, you have 3 different finishes of paper, which if all of you now have one of our packets now have all 3 versions. You don't have to pull it out, but all 3 versions in there and they're labeled, so you can take a look at those. Grab some of these because I want these as samples later. Now, underneath there, you'll notice that first class and marketing mail are repeated again. Underneath the category called Home Value Connect. This is a free add-on, and if on any of these samples I grabbed you, on the back of the card, you'll notice the blue dot. And what that is basically when you send out this card, you can include a service that will give the recipient of the card a report that shows them what homes similar to theirs have sold for in the neighborhood. It's called Home Value Connect. And the first thing I want you to notice, the most important, is that it's exactly the same price. So whether or not you're sending it without it or with it, it's still $1.04. We don't actually charge additional for it at all. Now to show you what it looks like, let me actually go to it. Home Value Connect.com. It'll give them a page and they can just go ahead and type in that code from the back of the card, which is 360-364-048-1. There you go. And they get a branded report to you. All your contact information, your logo, your company information, information about their home and what homes similar to theirs have sold for recently. And then where those are located, what the sales trends are, what the sales activity's been, and all the different comps that are in there.
What do you guys use? What platform do you guys use?
It's a feature that we built out of from a company called Neighborhood Navigator from Adams Data. Puts it together for us. Now the great thing is this isn't a great CMA. You know what it takes to do a good CMA. This is just a conversation starter. Your favorite thing is that when you send this out, that the person calls you back and they're actually really, really mad about it, right? Think about it. If a homeowner calls to complain about an unsolicited piece of mail that they got that showed them that their home value wasn't exactly what they thought it should be, that's a great conversation to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because how often do they sit around thinking about selling their home if they're that worried about the price? I mean, I have no clue what my home's worth because I've been not thinking about selling it right now. But if I was, I'd be constantly kind of checking the price in the market. And then I got a report that said, oh, it wasn't exactly what. But it's a great way to say, hey, you know what, homeowner? You're right. You have a very unique home. This is an automated service that's sent out. Let me do an accurate numbers and let's sit down and talk.
Does this capture any lead data as well, or is it?
So it does have a contact me, and it will provide whatever information they put in there, which is their basic contact information. However, even if they don't put that in, the minute they scanned it, you got notified that the card sent to 123 North Main Street was scanned and how many times they looked at it.
So even if they don't put their email or phone number,
Yep.
you know, the guy that lives in the brown house on the corner.
I know exactly which card was scanned and how many times they looked at it.
Okay.
I don't know who looked at it. I just know that the card sent to that address was scanned.
So every single code going to a neighborhood or whatever is gonna be different.
Okay, every card has got its own unique QR code that gives its own report based on information about that listing. So, okay. I'm gonna go back over, I'm gonna close that and go back over here. So you can add that to cart, whichever one of these you want to cart. Now, you are gonna get another choice in the cart now. Instead of, where do you want to send it? You also have the choice of address and mail. Address and mail means you want us to put the address on, put the postage on, sort it, take it to the post office for you. And those prices that we advertise are all inclusive of that. So you can see that feature. All right. So let's now talk about other products that you can produce. And we have a lot of different products you can produce. Yep.
I was just curious, I have some agents that I've been working with, I've been noticing have been putting in some orders for even like smaller amounts of postcards. Do you guys have a minimum of how many postcards they would have to send?
Our minimum actually is 25. So you can send as few as 25 cards.
Yeah, if I knew I was gonna have an open house, and I wanted to send 25 postcards
You can do
to
that.
the surrounding homes.
Yep,
Cool, and it'd
Yep.
be like, I don't know, $1.04 a piece, so like $26 or something.
correct.
Cool.
Correct, yep. Okay, we have a lot of other products in here, and you have all your company products that you can go through and there's a lot in here. I'm always mesmerized every time I get to this page. It's almost overwhelming. How much different stuff, your black boxes, your business cards, all those things are in here that you can produce and order through your bear printing platform. Your signage, all of that's in there. But let's talk about some automation. So because we now have that connection to the MLS, we have two tools that will automatically create products for you. Now we have active listing, which will let you produce your usual listing side marketing pieces, your flyers, your postcards, your perma flyer rider, home brochures, all those sorts of things. Now those are great. You can have it follow your feed. You can upload a default project, maybe a project you recently built. Be careful not to move. And I got a lot of them in here. Let's pretend I uploaded one. I'm not going to look for it right now. And then I can put a green check mark next to it. From this point forward, whenever you add a listing to the MLS, it'll automatically go and start a project for any product that you have a green check mark next to. It'll use that template with those colors and those fonts, auto-populate the information and do it and email it to you, say congratulations on your new listing. Here's a marketing piece that you requested. They'll send it right out.
If I make an account and I spend 5 minutes setting this up and I have templates that I like, that I never have to do this again.
You don't have to do that again, although it does have one caveat. Caveat is that you're waiting for it to be live in the MLS before you're ordering your marketing, which can put you behind depending on what the market's doing. I mean, if it's a slower market, no big deal probably, but if you're really wanting to make that splash live when you first add it to the MLS, then you'll probably not want to do that. So you can see that. All right. So, but there is one that you do want to wait to send. And that deals with your campaigns called Meet the Neighbors. Meet the Neighbors lets you do this exact same thing, but with your just listed postcards. So again, you can have it follow the feed from the MLS. We already have some great ones designed directly for John L. Scott. Although we have other designs also you can select from if you wanted to. You can say how many addresses you want it to go out to. So I wanted to go to 50, 100, 25, whatever number you want to put. How many, what finish, what mailing service with or without Home Value Connect? Put your credit card and activate. When you add the listing to the MLS, it's going to build that just listed postcard. It's going to run that radius search. It's going to tie those all together in your inbox. And when you get that email, you click on it. Once it logs you in, shows you the card, and you click confirm and you're done. 2 clicks of the mouse and you just listed card to all the neighbors. So that quick and easy. Now the great thing is after you send the just listed card, it remembers that MLS number. And when you go to mark it under contract or pending in the MLS, it'll allow you to send the pending card to the exact same list. And then send the sold card to the exact same list again. So now you've reached out 3 times to all the people who are already driving by your sign every day. Updating them on the progress of the listing. Just a great way to get you, make sure your name is solidified in their mind about doing real estate in this neighborhood. So far, we have talked all about advertising the home, right? Your listing. Bear printing has there's a whole nother side to real estate though, other than advertising your listing. Keeping contact with your past clientele, or lead generation are also 2 great ways to earn more business. Now we have a whole program here called Client Connect, which will do just that. In Client Connect, we've broken it down to kind of a number of different categories. The first one's lead generation. We have built an entire line of postcards that are designed for you to send out to help you gain leads from or farm a market. Cards you don't have to create, cards you don't have to be creative, already created, hopefully start a conversation. Most of them are extremely cheesy. But if you've been in real estate, for some reason cheese works, and I don't know why. Considering buying a home? No problem.
Problema.
So you get the idea, but there are all these great ones that you can go and create. That are all here, all pre-designed, and we come up with new ones every single month for you to peruse. Also under Client Connect, we have one called Do It Yourself. Now, these are also curated cards that we have built. Now, these recommended cards right here are based on 2 things. In your profile, what region you put for your Client Connect, and what month it is. Now, I know this says March, and it's not March yet. That's because at the end of the 3rd week of the previous month, it switches over to the next month. So just last Friday, it switched over to March. In the 3rd week of March, it'll switch to April. So you can see those. Now, we have and these are all curated cards that we have built ready for you to design. Some are regional, so we got Seattle Farmers Markets, and monthly events, and a market action report based on the information in the entire county and all of that. Now, another thing we have done with these curated cards is we categorize these into tracks that you can select from your set and forget. So instead of selecting a card each month, you can actually select a track of cards in a 12-month drip campaign. Keep trying to click on it. Won't go. Go. So you select which track you want. We have some that are all regions, so it doesn't matter what region you're in. Or I can drop down and I can find Seattle ones for general food and drink, King County market action, or Seattle monthly events. Now you select which track you want. You can put in your credit card, your sphere list. You type your default message so you don't mind going out on the card, and activate. In the 3rd week of the month, when we come up with that new card, it'll automatically send you that new card.
So everyone in my sphere will get a card with March events in like the 1st week of March, if not before then.
It should be right about the 1st day of March. Would normally be about 10 minutes normally.
You said you could automate that, or do we have to like manually?
So that's a great thing is, so we assign the card in the 3rd week of the month and you get an email. When you get that email, you have 3 options. Option 1 is do nothing. The program's called Set and Forget. After 3 days of you getting that email, it'll become a project and we'll send it out for you. So you didn't have to do anything and we send it out for you. Option 2, edit. Maybe you don't like the card we picked for you that month. Maybe you had an additional message you wanted to add to the back of the card. Whatever it is, you can change the card, you can change the message, whatever, then you'll save it, and after those 3 days are up, it'll send it out for you. Option 3, skip this month. Don't send a card this month. So great way to stay in touch with your past clientele with very little interaction for you or effort. The reason why this program got developed is we had a number of our clients saying, I always mean to send that card, and by the time I remember, I'm too late.
Halfway through the month and half the events are over. I do the
Oh,
same thing.
well, geez, 4th of July is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would love to send a 4th of July card. Well, sorry, it's too late. We get that call every year, so.
That's specific to that neighborhood that you choose.
Well, this is a generic card for whichever area. It's whatever list you upload. Most of the time, this is commonly used with your past clientele list.
Right.
So how do you stay in touch with someone you sold a house to 4 years ago? Well, send them a card every so often. Now, we've taken that one step forward, and this is what you guys have been really here to see, because this is our brand new, the newest items built in here. Dealing with Client Connect is we have now gone hyper local. Before, all our curated cards were market based, right? So you're talking about information from all over this entire Seattle market. I'm pretty sure the market here in Kent is a lot different than the market in Mukilteo, right? So why don't we get hyper local with it instead? Now, by going hyper local, what we have done is curated a bunch of cards that have some topic driven. Now, these cards we have not built. These cards are all built by AI on the fly right now. Now, we've given some topics to guide you. We've given about 20, 25 topics to guide you. Things like pizza, yoga, sushi, craft beers, burgers, pizza, breakfast. So let's do a breakfast one. So we're going to generate this template, and we want to do, okay, I want to do breakfast in, what's the zip code right here?
98032.
9032. And I'm going to go ahead and put in that as 98032 as my location. And then I'm going to choose what type of imaging I want on the background of the card. Do I want 3D modeling, anime, cinematic, comic book, digital art, claymation, neon punk, origami, photographic? Let's do something simple. We'll just do digital art.
What's low poly mean?
No clue. Let's do it. And I'll click here, start in basic, and it is going to use 3 different AIs to generate cards. It's going to use Google Places to find the local places for that zip code, ChatGPT to write a blurb about each one, and then it's going to use an image generator to generate images. When I find one I like, I can select it. I'm going to hit personalize, and I'm going to bring it up as a PDF preview because it'll probably come up a little bit bigger for you guys. Takes a little bit longer to render. So it built this on the fly right now.
Good spot.
There's breakfast spots for this zip code.
This is super fun. I show agents this all the time. And we've put pump tracks in, which are like the little kid bike tracks. That works. Anything that's like a physical location works really well. It doesn't work as well for like one-off events. Like I had someone who wanted to do like trunk or treats. That doesn't work because it's not always a trunk or treat there. But like breakfast spots, coffee shops, beer, like we have a lot of fun. I have a friend that does scuba diving. So she sent one out to her sphere of the best local diving spots.
So now what this one what Kaylee's referring to is that while this one, I'm gonna hit save and close and go back real quick. Client Connect. Hyperlocal. While we have a lot of these that are guided and have a topic already, we do have one at the bottom that is a DIY. Which means that you can select any topic, any location, and it basically does the best of. Anyone want to get creative?
Happy out.
Perfect.
Oh, it's hard to find a good happy hour.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to Google,
Yeah.
Last happy hour, who does-
Research, yeah.
yeah.
Happy, if I could spell it right, happy hour.
You get you a beer if it help out, you know?
And we're gonna do that 98032. And I gotta give the project a name. HH 98032. And let's try,
Photographic,
which one?
photographic.
Photographic? All right. Let's see what we do. Now, this one always takes a little bit longer because it's got to actually hunt out a little bit more data than having a set topic.
The fact that technology does this though is crazy.
So let's.
Have some bars.
So I gave out places that have a good happy hour. You know what? Let me go make it,
What are the things?
let me make it bigger.
You could potentially go to like bar owners, restaurant owners, and like, hey, I'm gonna do some marketing there, yeah, are you interested in coming in? You can't get them to try to.
And co-market,
Mhm.
Gators, was Gators?
gators,
Mhm.
they do.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Get it around for a long time.
I don't know, but you guys know.
I don't know,
Fire starter.
it's on top of the hill, by Safeway off of 208.
Oh, okay.
The question is, do I get the same list if I do dive bars?
Yeah.
I might, who knows?
What's
Or-
the heart? Heart, did it say the Heart Bar and Restaurant?
Hmm. That is a good idea, though. I haven't heard another agent say that about going to them about co-marketing.
Well, yeah, there was a little class history on it and it was great, so.
So it's a great way to create a content that makes you local, right?
For sure.
Instead of advertising something that's happening all over the city or what have you, all of a sudden you're advertising that you're a part of this community, not anywhere else. And it does that. We have one more card I want to show you today that does that. You also, and it deals with market action reports. While we have the static market action report that does the whole entire county, I can come in here and actually do one for an area all the way down to a zip code. So I can say generated this template. I could say snapshot 98032. I can say instead of a metro area, I can say zip code
Can you do 98011?
98011.
Yeah.
It'll look weird with the name being 98022, 32, but. And we are going to pull a market action report specifically for that zip code. So instead of having something that is generic to the whole community, now you're showing, hey, here's what's going on in your community. My favorite thing is that the image is actually an outline of the zip code.
Mhm.
So if you have your spirit loaded in here and you want to just do your touches with them, is it gonna? Pick their excerpt your Seattle, Kirkland, Tacoma, Kent, is it gonna be specific to that individual, you know, how would that work? or-
As of right now, no, you're actually building it and then sending it to a list that's based in that area. That's kind of a one-off, but I like the way your brain's thinking and all of a sudden that's a conversation at our next development meeting about, hey, if I upload a list, can I have these automatically know what area they're in and just generate the report for that specific person in that area?
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I mean, then you put your sphere in there and you're actually making your touches to them individually versus, because we sell everywhere, right?
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the technology like this is kind of endless.
Mhm.
And in conversations like this that we're having right now is what prompts it. And that's kind of what makes bear printing kind of special, is because we're always have been the kind of company that can respond to those kind of things
Mhm.
and come up and work with those kind of ideas moving forward. So now the other great thing about this report is that on the backside, It takes that, all the data it's gathered and gives you a 3-month analysis of that market. The past 3-month analysis. And the other thing that all these automated cards do that I think is beautiful, because you wouldn't believe how many cards we get sent to us that don't have it, is that it includes the call to action on every single one. We get a lot of cards they'll send out postcards advertising an event, advertising this, and never ever ask for the business.
Does this one have a QR code for capture as well?
You can add one at any point in time. You can add that same one that'll go to, because that's based on the address of the property that gets generated.
Okay.
Yep. You can add that same one to the back. You can also do these as door hangers. If you want to walk a neighborhood and drop them off as a door hanger, the market action, you have a sample of one of those in front of you. So those are kind of nice. So it's kind of a lot of great information out there and going forward. Now I can show you one thing that we are working on. I can't guarantee it's gonna work, but let me try it. Because it didn't work yesterday, but Bill sometimes amazing. Oh, I don't have it. Do I? Nope, I don't have it in here. Wait. No. Shoot, I thought I might. We are working on the next iteration of hyperlocal is hyperlocal events. And you do have a sample of one, that's one that we've actually curated though. But the idea is that we'll be able to drive that down to individual communities as well. So instead of having one that's all of Seattle market area or county market area, we will be able to drive it down all the way down to a specific city or a zip code that will allow you to have events for that city or zip code. That's our next item that we'll be doing with events.
So Bill was showing me this when we went to coffee this morning.
Yeah.
And if you scan this, it actually has a website that has you guys' information on it. So it's a website presented by Eric, the realtor.
Correct.
And when you scroll down, it has all the added information for all.
Every event. So why the card may only print the top 8 events. It'll have every event that's happening in that community. If you want to scan that card with your phone, you can check it out.
Yeah, we were messing with it at coffee and I was very impressed with this.
I mean, obviously you guys' technology is great. What, so Sign Pros and other companies, what separates you in pricing wise too, is like, what do you, how do you feel, or how do you stay competitive with that?
We always compare and are always try to be competitive with price. The great thing about us versus most print shops is that we offer bulk pricing, even if you're only ordering 50 or 25 or something. We don't necessarily, we want to do the small run items. That's what our specialty is. We want lots of clients doing small run projects. We don't necessarily need the big client doing the 50,000 print job like most print shops do to do that. We got our production down to basically next day turnaround, which is very, very important in real estate. And so that's how we compete, is by doing that. Now, on top of that, we try to offer as many online services that you can utilize to produce as many products as you want, or produce products quickly, rather than taking a lot of time to produce them. That's how we like to compete. Believe it or not, you know, it's kind of interesting business, the print business, because I travel quite a bit for work, do these classes all over the place, and I'll find myself at a sports bar having dinner or something, and I'll talk to the guy next to me, and he'll happen to be a printer, and he finds out that we work specifically with realtors, and he goes, you do that by choice? You guys have demands. You guys have demands that most industries don't. You need it. You want to order it today and have it arrive yesterday, even though your photos aren't scheduled till tomorrow.
That's the truth.
I mean, it's that way. So we understand and we try to stay as on top of that as possible. And make sure we turn out a good product for you quickly and at prices that make sense for only ordering less than 100 rather than needing to order 500 or 1,000 of them. What other questions do you guys have?
It was very informative for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that you know
Yep.
all about
Will
this.
the
'cause you-
recorded Zoom be emailed out to us?
So Brandon.
Yes, we will put it on our private YouTube channel.
Thank
Very
you.
similar platform, very effective. Hot home now, there's.
I'll collect my royalty checks later.
Every time it plays.
Yeah. Every time we click, per
Yeah.
click, right?
Check just goes out automatically.
Well,
Awesome.
with that, thanks for coming, guys, and don't forget, if you guys have questions ever, we have 3 full-time employees that do nothing but answer questions over the phone. So, and they're available 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, so give them a call if you get stuck on a project.
Information is.
Thank you.
It's always on the website, right across the top. You wanna go ahead and end that
Yeah, I'll get you.
recording?
Rainier or- I think that we probably have a similar suite of tools.
Thank you.
Yep.
I will say that so they came in and they presented and they were showing you like through